Joining me now is Bernie Kerik, former NYPD commissioner. Bernie, Democrats think they can somehow blame the president for Antifa and Black Lives Matter violence in their own cities, even after they rejected his attempts to help them restore law and order. How twisted of a narrative is that one, Bernie?
Well, it's pretty twisted. And Laura, I just want to touch on something because you've talked about it, these cities and why or how the executives, the mayors aren't doing their job. I have to tell you, leaving the White House last night, as I walked through the streets, as a police executive and somebody that ran the NYPD, I was completely disgusted by the fact that the cops in D.C. are overworked. They didn't have enough resources. They didn't have the manpower they needed. They weren't in the right spots. No genius had to tell you that there's going to be problems at the exit gates of the White House. There were hundreds of these lunatics out there, these Antifa and Black Lives Matter screamers, and yet there wasn't enough enforcement at those spots to keep people safe and secure. And we saw that with Rand Paul and a number of other people that left the White House. It's crazy. And I have to wonder, is it intentional? Does the mayor actually deplete the department to let this happen? I was completely disgusted with what I saw last night.
Yeah, Bernie, lucky people weren't badly injured last night. When you have that many people, you got a lot of hot tempers, and you just have individuals who have to get to their hotel. They're walking 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. I mean, this is America. You should be able to walk to your hotel in the nation's capital, but that's not how it went down. They want to intimidate people away from going to Trump rallies, exercising their constitutional rights. You try that outside an abortion clinic, just praying outside of an abortion clinic, and they'll call you a domestic terrorist, Bernie.
These people were harassed. They were taunted. They were threatened. They were spit at. They were throwing things at them. They surrounded them. They wouldn't let them pass. Criminal conduct, and there wasn't enough cops to deal with it. And I'm telling you, Laura, I have to believe this stuff is intentional. When you look at what's going on in the other cities, is that what's happening there too? Every one of these Democrat-run cities are responding the same way. Why? I don't know, but I can tell you that that what I saw last night was disgusting.
Yeah, it looks purposeful. They knew exactly what was going to happen. I mean, there's no way Bowser didn't know how this was going to go down. But this is what one BLM activist at this march today in Washington had to say about people holding Trump signs, Bernie. Watch.
Everybody that came messing with us had Trump signs. Trump 2020. That's the new way that they exhibit racism in this country and hide behind it. So we got to vote Trump out of office, all right? It's time. This is the revolution. This is the revolution.
Bernie, they're being pretty explicit. They want a revolution. Well, burn it all down. That's what they want.
There's your answer. Black Lives Matter. It's run by trained Marxists. They're inspired by Marxists. They have Marxist convicted felon Marxists controlling their fundraising. And these are revolutionaries. These are militant revolutionaries. That's what's working the streets in these, and I'm not going to call them protests, in these riots.
No,
I'm
they're not
sick of
protests.
people calling them peaceful protests. They're not peaceful protests.
Bernie, thank you so much. I saw you briefly last night on the White House lawn. I'm glad you got out of there. Now, have you noticed that the protesters you see in the streets are described as powerful and moving?